And welcome back, everybody, to I'll Hang Up and Listen, brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room, with over 300 beers to choose from at all 6 Western New York locations. If you need a beer, make sure you make it a Fatty Beer and tell them Two Goalies one Mike sent you. They'll always take care of you over there. And Buffalo Go Apparel. If you're looking for shirts, hats, hoodies, all locally designed, small business, shop local, shop small business. They have it all over that Buffalo Go, especially their Bills merch. It's pretty top flight. So make sure you go check them out at Buffalo Go Co. on Instagram and Twitter, at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter as well. Fattybeer.com. I am Duane, your host. Obviously riding solo tonight. Sabres, well, meltdown in Motor City, to say the least. An absolute embarrassment of epic proportions on national TV. Obviously, I'm kind of happy that Biz was on vacation, so he couldn't rub the salt in the wound a little bit, because he would have on the panel in between periods. I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. It's I'm gonna put this out there. I actually, before we went live, that's why it took me. I initially had this scheduled to go live at 10:35, and it took me a minute because I had actually Sabres alumni that we've had. I'm not going to say who, a former Sabres alumni, DM me on Twitter, and his exact words were this. Where is it? Let me see here. What in the actual fuck is going on with this franchise, with a crying emoji? Former Sabres alumni. Again, I'm not going to say who, but it's a former guest on the show, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane. And it's comical that they wait until, the March 12th to drop the gloves and start standing up for one another. And as much as I love it, it's too little too late. Not that they shouldn't be doing that, because they should all season long, no doubt about it. But also, I don't really, as much as I appreciate it, Tage Thompson and Alex Tuch should not be the guys doing it. That's why you brought in guys like Beck Malenstein. That's what Jordan Greenway's job is. I mean, again, Matthias Samuelsson just standing there with his thumb up his ass, watching it all go down, his gloves glued to his hands. Just an embarrassment from top to bottom. I don't know. We're going to hit the peanut gallery right here, because there's a lot of comments in here. Embarrassing loss, battles on boards all game, high dangerous chances, slot chances all game, power bullied again. What is Krebs and Quinn role? No depth scoring. Quinn spent all game in the penalty box. I think they did find a role for Jack Quinn, and he's serving penalties now. I don't know. more from Mauricio. Benson top line, really. The pro league pathetic third line, blow it up rough, sit down Quinn, Krebs, and Benson, bring up Rosen, last AHL call up, Dune replaced Bryson pushed around. I mean, Bryson's a defenseman, Dune is not, so I mean, you can't really replace those two, but I get what you're saying 100%. You saw some bite from Brett Murray tonight in Rochester, who's been a big part of success of that team. If that guy did more of that, and his skating was a little better, he'd probably be a consistent fourth liner for the Buffalo Sabres. I don't know. More from Mauricio. All the shenanigans. Where was this all? One pack mentality all year round. Sabres got bullied and out hit, intimidated physically, and mauled. You're way off on Krebs. He's the only one scrappers, and Quinn is useless. He's their next trade along with UPL. UPL did not have a great game tonight at all, to say the least. He has not lived up to that contract. I'm not going to blame this game on UPL. I'm not. It's not his fault that they lost 7-3. He also didn't help, as he made some pretty big saves tonight, especially on the PK, but he also let in just as many softies. People used to call Ryan Miller, used to chant Mr. Softy during games. I mean, for as much shit as we gave Ryan Miller, arguably the best American-born goalie of all time, where is that same criticism for a guy like UPL, who honestly, in my opinion, lets many more soft goals in a point in his career where he shouldn't be. He just got paid, his first big contract, pro contract, and he has been nothing but a disappointment in year 1 of 5. So definitely terrible. And it's a joke. It's a joke. This should be going again. As you can tell, I do not have my normal background here. On post game, I'm at a family member's house, and they're all sleeping, so I have to, keep my composure until I'm back home. Not trying to wake up the people that are being so good to me during this time with my shattered leg. So I listen. What more is there to yell about? What more is there to complain about? What more is there to criticize that hasn't already been criticized 1,000 times over on this team? Like it's the same story. You could literally play these post games one after the other after losses, and you're essentially talking about the same things over and over and over and over and over again. It's a fact. It's a fact, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. The different regimes of GMs, coaches. The start of the season, we're going to be tougher to play against. We're going to be better defensively, blah, 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 blah. It's all been the same bullshit that we've been going through year after year after year after year. They've had one decent season in the last 10 where they missed the playoffs by 1 point, and that's it. That's it. And you still have the same fucking coaching staff that's been here through all the bullshit, except, I was up Lindy's first year back, but you see the same assistants. You bring up Seth Appert, who honestly didn't deserve to be on an NHL bench. I don't care what anyone says. He did nothing to justify putting him on this bench. Nothing. He was buoyed by an outstanding Devin Levi in the AHL, who helped push them to the playoffs. Played fantastic, and they had an abysmal power play in the AHL, and now they have an abysmal power play once again in the NHL. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. I don't know how else to say it. It's a joke. From like you see, I hate this team. What do you know? Another loss for the losers. Hey, listen, I got criticized last night on Twitter. I'm going to talk about this for a second. I criticized on Twitter because I'm nothing but negative. I never see positive things. Give me something positive to talk about. I don't care about individual accolades or statistics. I don't give a shit that Tage Thompson's about to score 40 goals. I don't give a shit about Zach Benson's defensive analytics. I don't give a shit that, fill in the blank is having a career year. Jason, I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is winning and getting to the playoffs. And then we can really put that kind of stuff up on a pedestal. But like, what are we doing here? It's just another season. And if you want to criticize me for that, then criticize yourselves for supporting, once again, another lost season of Tage Thompson performing at this high of a level. Another season of Rasmus Dahlin, lost season of performing at this high of a level. Another lost season, the first lost season of Jason Zucker having a career year. Like, what is there to congratulate? What is there to be happy about? There's nothing to be happy about. Like, is there a chance Adams is gone? You think 5 years, 5 years? No, because if he was going to be gone, he would have been gone well before the deadline. He'd have been gone after 13 losses in a row. He's here next year. I think we just have to accept that. There's no getting around that. He is here to stay. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I don't know. I don't agree with it. Most fans don't agree with it. I didn't agree with it the day they fucking hired him. Because I've always said from day one, he is nothing but a yes man. That's all he's ever been, is a yes man. I don't know. I'm done with the nonsense. Done with the nonsense. I just banned somebody, my second time banning somebody here to watch this loser cry. Like, no, guess what? You just got banned because apparently I'm supposed to find positives with this hockey team. What's their positive? Can somebody find me positives to talk about a team that is dead last in the East? Going to be a lottery team, probably picking top 3. Find me the positive. There is no positive. There's none. If you want to be that guy who wants to celebrate the player whose jersey you bought at the start of the season because he's having a great year, John McDermott golf clap. Good for you. That's fantastic. I applaud you and your willingness to find a way to be happy about this team. Good for you. But that doesn't get you to the playoffs. That doesn't break any now coming up 14-year playoff drought. It doesn't. Like it doesn't. I don't know. Ryan Sanders 103. Welcome to the chat, man. First time seeing the chat. Welcome to the program. Happy you're here. I get what you are saying, Duane. Amazing season from Tasia Dowling. Good pickups in Zucker McLeod, but all for nothing. Another losing senior management needs a complete reshuffle. Again, something we've been talking about since the start of the season. Surprised that he made it to this season. And he went out, he hired Ruff. Regardless, I always say Ruff was a justifiable hire because he, if there is a guy that's going to put everything he's got into getting this right, it would have been Kevin Adams, Lindy Ruff. But I'm sure there are other just as qualified coaches out there to hire if you're willing to try. But that was a PR stunt. That was like when the Bills signed T.O. near the end of his career. Like, it was a PR stunt. Nothing more than that. A PR stunt. I don't know. From Cordell Lee, thoughts on 13. I've liked Josh Norris, man. He's been fantastic. I don't judge him on that first game because, again, there's emotions are running high. You let some players, you expect there to be a big jolt in their first game after a trade, something to prove. But took his second game, had a beautiful assist to Tage Thompson, scored his first goal. I had no problems with Josh Norris. He's been fantastic. I don't know. Yeah, Tage Thompson, the only positive I can think of. Darlene too, but it's positive. Most first period goals in the NHL. Yeah, but like that again, you're missing the playoffs. Like at the end of the day, you can sit here and you can make bullet points of positive things, but the only thing that should be at the top of that list is made playoffs. We are not going to make the playoffs once again. It's an embarrassing season. Once again, we're getting laughed at by national media. We're getting laughed at by other fan bases. Once again, we're getting called one of the most embarrassing run sports franchises in all of sports, all of the four major sports. It's a joke. It's a joke. From Mike Will. Fire the whole front office. They need a complete overall cheapskate. Terry refuses to do it. Yeah, again, I agree. I agree. Cannot bring this front office back. If you keep Ruff and worry on egg on face, put him at the assistant GM or something like But Adams. The rest of the coaching staff has to go. Agreed. It does have to go. It does have to go. Positive season tickets prices are staying the same. If that's true, like I said, there is a positive for you guys who want to sit through this potentially again next year. From Mike Will, get real players in the front office like every NHL team. Yeah, like you have so many alumni who care deeply about this franchise, especially from those 2000 years. And you see what San Jose has done with Ryan Miller, Mike Greer, and other former alumni. Like they've gone out and they've now obviously Ryan Miller's not former Sabres alumni. They've gone out and found guys to help restructure their franchise and fix it. I think I would take San Jose's roster in a heartbeat. Anyone who says different is they're brain dead. I would trade our roster for theirs in a heartbeat. I mean, Will Smith and Macklin Celebrini, they're going to probably have another top 3 pick this year. I mean, yeah, I would take their roster in an absolute heartbeat. Yep, Thomas Vanek too, another guy working in a front office. Let Reimer play 2 games. Yeah, UPL again has just been nothing but disappointing this year. He has not lived up to the contract. He has not been consistent. He was given the net this year. This was given to him with realistically no real competition. He was told at the start of the season essentially that even Lindy Ruff spoke it. Like, it's easy to pronounce my starting goalie's name, UPL. Easy to say it. Like there was no pressure on him realistically from outside noise. Like Devin Levi, he's going to be in Rochester. He's going to develop there, continue what he started last season, maybe at a shot at being the backup here in Buffalo. But I'm glad the way things ended up with him because, again, he's going to potentially lead Rochester to a Calder Cup, and he's the best goalie in the A, no doubt. So he's going down the development path of Ryan Miller, and that's what I want. That is your franchise goalie. I guess there's a positive. Your franchise goalie is playing fantastic, and hopefully sign him to another 3 or 4 year. Let's sign him to a 5-year deal tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe first year of that contract is a 2-way, and then after that, who knows? I don't know. But he is legitimately the franchise. It is not UPL. I've been saying, like, UPL is that goalie that if you have a good enough of a team in front of him, kind of like Crawford in those years with the Blackhawks. I'm not comparing UPL. I'm just comparing where I think he fits. Is that he's good enough to get you to the playoffs if the team in front of you is superb. He's not a goalie that's going to go out there and win you game after game after game, and you can sit there and expect that he's going to steal you games. He's not that guy. He's not that guy. I'd love for him to be. He's just not that guy. I don't know. Here, good point. I mean, how are you too good to not have a single alumni member in this fucking front office? Agreed. They had one with Pat LaFontaine, and we all know how that story ended. It's a joke. It was an absolute joke. The acquisitions they made in the offseason, Lafferty, invisible, Malmstein, useless. Ube Kubel traded to the deadline for a deaf defenseman from Rochester who scored his first goal with Rochester tonight. Listen, I think that I don't know. Yeah, beats me. Listen, I don't know where else to go with this because these are things we've gone constantly repeated over and over and over and over and over and over again on all of these post games, whether it's just me by myself or Hurls or Walt from the Charging Buffalo. How many times have we had these exact same conversations about this team and the way they lose games? Defensively, they're atrocious. They can't play consistently in front of their own goaltender. How often do you see guys standing in front of wide open men, not being touched, not being boxed out, and not tied up sticks? It's the same story. Loss after loss after loss. I am tired of moral victories. I am tired of having these same fucking conversations after these games. I am tired of being embarrassed on national TV. I am tired of being an embarrassment amongst other hockey fan bases. I'm tired of seeing my replies when I try and say something positive. You can't even chirp anymore. It's a joke. It's an absolute fucking joke. He needs to sell this team. Again, another from Joe Zaddy. Go get Pekka, who can relate to these players. Fact that he was cast aside as criminal. Not only was he was cast aside for Matt Ellis. Currently the only alumni, really, if you're not counting Lindy Ruff, on your staff. Matt Ellis. I don't care about, and here's the thing. I'm not going to criticize him for career stats in the NHL. Okay. I mean, there are plenty of coaches who had similar NHL careers who were great coaches or great assistant coaches. But at the end of the day, what did he prove before being put on an NHL bench as a coach to justify him being an assistant? He was coaching 13U. He was coaching 13U before he was gifted an NHL coaching job by his best friend, Kevin Adams. That's a joke. That is not how you run a professional sports organization. It's just not. I don't know. I don't know. I am going to go over the post-game comments here from Brian Koziel because, yeah, there's that. Let's see if I can bring him up here. Sorry for the delay. There we go. Brian Koziel. Lindy said the hit on Bryson and the response was appropriate. Says that Tuck says what Tuck did to respond was great. I agree. I just hate that it's those guys. I mean, yeah, he's on the ice at the time and sure, but I don't know. I hate that nobody. Here's the thing. I hate that nobody fears taking shots like that at players because we don't have appropriate players on our team to respond to that. So they take liberties. Again, that's my point. Lindy says the D-zone turnovers are hard to recover from. They're very frustrated. Again, an example. You could take these post-game comments and copy and paste them after every loss. And you're like, yeah, they make sense. Norris says some of the stuff at the end of the game was their unhappiness with the calls. Says it seems silly to say that after losing 7-3, but that was part of the frustration. And yeah, I mean, the officiating was terrible tonight. No doubt. That penalty on UPL was an utter joke. It was. I don't know what is UPL supposed to do there. He's extending to make a save, and Raymond skates into his stick. That was a garbage call, 100%. I agree the officiating was terrible tonight. But do I also think that that's the reason they lost? No. Thompson says the game got chippy because it was an emotional game. things were building up. Says they were frustrated with some of the questionable calls. Think it was a good response from the team at the end of the third. I agree. Again, I appreciate the passion. I appreciate the physical response. I wish guys that should be being physical and responding would do that. Guys like Matthias Samuelsson, who's been, about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop. From Thompson, I think obviously we had a lot of penalty kills for us. They are a dangerous group. They don't need a whole lot to put the puck in the net. We had some breakdowns and they capitalized. Agreed. They did capitalize. It was embarrassing. So I'm not going to honestly, harp on this for too long tonight. Because what more is there to say? What more is there to say? It's same old Sabres, same goddamn post game that we've been having after every single loss. I don't know. What more can you say? So, I wish that we got 18 games left in the season. You already got fans kind of talking about, do they tank? Are they tanking? Should they be tanking? There's some really great players, the top of the draft, the top 3 especially, that you might want to get your hands on. I'm tired of honestly having those conversations. I've been pretty vocal about that all season. But at the end of the day, we're playing for pride again? I don't know. I genuinely, I just don't know. From Will, Thompson can say whatever he wants, but like everyone, this team has sucked the life out of us. Nothing more we can do. Agreed. There is nothing more you can do. You've tried. You've tried as hard as you can to be listen, again, I get criticized for not being positive. How can you look at this game at face value and find positives? What's there to be positive? Oh, Tage Thompson scored again? Cool. I mean, are we going to be in the playoffs? No? Okay. Patrick Kane continuing to be a Sabre killer, 5 points tonight. He passed on the all-time points list 2 Sabres tonight. He passed Gilles Perreault and Pierre Turgeon tonight on the all-time points list. He's 35th now. I think he passed Turgeon for 35th or 34th. I don't know. But yeah, I guess there's your positive. You've seen a Buffalo guy, a Buffalo native, top 50, inching closer to being top 30 all-time scoring. I guess there's a positive if you want to find one. And that's not even Sabres related. It's somebody who was born and bred in Buffalo, continuing to succeed at 36. A guy who I was told by charts that was washed up. So there's that. And I don't care about his defensive analytics. He might help, not single-handedly, but get this team to the playoffs. They were in a playoff spot a week ago. I think they're now only 2 points back of the wild card after tonight's win. They were 4 points coming in tonight. I don't know if Columbus or the other team currently in the wild card spot played tonight, if they won. But if they didn't, they're only 2 points out of a wild card, along with a couple other teams. So I don't know. It's yeah. So more from Will. Nothing positive about the last 14 years. Anytime they say otherwise, anyone who says otherwise lives under a rock. Great personal stats for Tage Thompson, but doesn't move the needle. No, it doesn't. I don't know. From It's Rickus. I cannot recall another guy who has been given so many things like a letter for captaincy and a solid contract for doing the same so damn little to even get doing so little and even more so to hurt his own team than Samuelsson. Yeah, he shouldn't have a letter. He should not have if he's still on this team, he needs to be gone in the offseason. And if he's still on this team, he should not have an A. He has done nothing to justify being an assistant captain on this team. Nothing. How can you sit here and justify him being an assistant anymore? You can't. You just can't. Again, 18 games left in the season. We're going to pull up the schedule here to see when their next game is. Sooner the better, so we can get one more game closer to the end of the season. Honestly, I don't know how much more fans can handle this. They have the Golden Knights on Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Exciting. Fantastic. So there's that. And then they play the Bruins, fresh off a win over the Florida Panthers on the 17th, and then Utah on the 20th. And they have Ottawa coming up, first game in Buffalo, Dylan Cousins returning. So that should be fun to, maybe he'll score a hat trick. Who knows? Listen, guys, I'm going to let you guys I'm going to get out of here. Again, appreciate you all. The new viewers, some of the guys that did come on, I appreciate the hell out of you all. You guys make this, I say it every time, you guys make this easier to do after every game. Whether it's me by myself or me and Hurls, whether it's for, half an hour like tonight, or if it's an hour and 20 minutes like the previous one, episode of Two Goalies, One Mic. Like, you guys make this easier, no doubt. It's been another difficult season, a season where the East was horrible. And it's another thing, the East was terrible this season. They were god-awful. All right? So bad. The East was so bad this year that, you can get into the playoffs with possibly a below-average record. And you still couldn't even do that. Couldn't do that. So, that's all I got. Just remember, guys, this is brought to you by Fatty Beer Company, Western New York's premier market and tap room, with over 300 beers to choose from at all their locations. If you want to get a beer, make sure you make it a Fatty Beer, and I would highly suggest their Yeah Mango Wheat Beer. Obviously, it's fantastic. They have St. Patty's Day coming up. I know they're doing St. Patty's Day parties. Make sure you check them out at Fatty Beer on Instagram and Twitter, fattybeer.com for all their locations. They have live music, entertainment, and trivia at all locations. So check them out. And again, thanks for tuning in and being there. And everybody in the peanut gallery. I got Michael and Andrew here. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Got to keep losing anyways after the 4th pick in the draft. That's a huge drop in talent this year. I mean, I'm almost there, and I've been very against that all season. But at this point, let's get the best possible pick, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to be that guy, but I think we're there, right? Tuck earned his A. I agree. So you guys have a great night. I'll hang up and listen. And actually, also before, as always, if you are watching on YouTube, you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon so you know when we go live. Appreciate the hell out of all of you that already subscribed. If you are in the chat and haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And all of you currently watching on YouTube, please hit the like button. Slam that like button on every single one of our episodes. It does help us immensely. Again, appreciate it. You can find me on Twitter at Duane39. You can find the podcast at Two Goalies, One Mic, or on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. So I'll link up and listen. We'll talk to you guys later. And as always, go Sabres.